Good morning, gardening friends, and thank you for tuning in this week. This is Travis from Louisville. I garden in Zone 6B and 7A. This is my part 3 of my June garden tour. It's really nice out right now. It's just right at 8 in the morning. In the front is a border that I have lamb's ear. This lamb's ear was an older plant that I had in the back. I actually moved it from my old house, but I've just divided it, and I'm doing a repeat of it all along the border here. I still got more to do over here, but all I do is you can literally pull it up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I can get a piece of it. I pull a piece out like this. Get some nice root on it, and then I just plant it. Sorry. Trying to stay in focus, guys. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm doing lamb's ear, burgundy color with coral bells, and then I want to do something different in between, in here. So what it is lamb's ear, coral bells, lamb's ear, whatever I choose. Lamb's ear, coral bells, lamb's ear, whatever I choose. So I'll have 3 different things along the front border here. If you're new to my channel, we've been here, this is our 3rd year here, and none of this landscape or anything was here. There was just a couple random boxwood shrubs in the front there, up against the house. But this year I'm doing a weekly garden tour so you guys can see what everything looks like and progresses through the summer. Of course, I do these videos for anybody who has a passion for gardening like I do. I love seeing other people's garden tours and gardens. But yeah, I also do this just for myself to kind of look back on, just to see how far the yard has come and remind myself what works and what doesn't work. The chartreuse color there, shrub, is a spirea. And it is blooming. It is a blooming shrub. Got light pink blooms on it. And there's other varieties that have a little bit of a darker color. Also in here are my barberries. But I'm really liking this area right here. I'm liking the color of the rose, the color of this, the burgundy, and then that pop of blue. This is Catmint, Walker's Low, or Nepeta. And I really like this variety more than I do the other variety I have, which is a little taller and sporadic. Is that the right word? But I like this one. I think this one's called Walker's Low, and it's more compact and lower to the ground. I do a couple annuals. These are a must-have. This is the Blue Victoria Salvia that I put in about 3 weeks ago, and it's just now starting to bloom. And then also the red-orange marigolds. So I've been doing this color combination with the annuals for 3 years now. I got the inspiration from Lark on YouTube. She has a garden blog as well. Really beautiful gardens. So definitely check her out. Lark's Gardens, larksperennials.com. Also in here is Sedum, Autumn Joy. Of course, the knockouts. This is the common hot pink rose. But this one here is my favorite. This is a light yellow. And I'll get closer real quick. Starts out this color, but it fades out to a beautiful white, and it just highlights this area, and it is very fragrant, especially when it warms up and the sun heats it up. It's really nice having this by the sidewalk as we come into the front. This is another rose I forgot the variety of. Just love all those clusters. Now this will probably be a 2-part video because my phone will only let me do a 30-minute video at a time. I'm really trying real hard to be steady with, I'm doing this on a phone, but I'm trying my hardest to be steady and keep it in focus. Sometimes it's hard to see when it's really sunny. I can't really tell. Lime lights across the front here. Yes, they're tall and kind of need to be shapened up, but I'm holding off on that because I'm afraid if I cut them back, I'll lose the blooms. This is Miss Raven. Any of you new guys that are new to my channel, I'm sure Poe will be showing up shortly. So yeah, lime lights. These will get the bright white cone-shaped flowers on them in July. In here, don't want to get this bindweed started. Ugh. I have ground cover, Ajuga ground cover, and I like this variety. I wish I would have kept the name of it, but I love the burgundy. So that is what I'm throwing down in here to cut down on the weeds and just kind of fill in. Here is a weeping spruce. I actually had this guy planted in the middle of these 3 roses, and as you can see, that had to come out. Also, the knockout roses are very fast growing rose, very dependable and great color. All season long, we'll have blooms on them until the frost, probably early November. Maybe longer, because it's the way the weather has been changing for us here. There's the blue salvia. Here's an older coral bells that I've had a couple years. So yeah, I just have that same pattern going around the front border here. Got another piece of catmint here. Over here we've got a couple of shrubs that we moved from the back. This is a wine and rose Weigela. And a hydrangea. I can't remember this one. I want to say Little Quickfire, maybe the pinkish color. I'm not sure, but it's really happy here. It was behind a maple tree, but it looks very happy there. This is a planter. Well, I'm using it as a planter, but it was actually a piece to a water fountain. My mom had it, and I think the dog chewed the cord up or something. And it was just time to get rid of it, and I said, nope, I will take it and use it as a planter. In it is the sedum. And I stuck a little piece of rose moss in there. This is another variety of the lamb's ear. This one's big ears. This one does not bloom. But that's fine with me because I just love the foliage color. Victoria blue salvia. And the sun's caught up with me, so hopefully it doesn't look all washed out. Get my shadow out of there. St. Valentine daylily. These are new. I'm trying to keep my shadow out. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys can see that. Red Hot Returns. So a couple of varieties of the red lilies. Backlit with the Annabelle hydrangea. which will have white, pretty white clusters. I love daylilies, one of my favorites. And just love this variety. I have several varieties of daylilies here. This is a potentilla shrub. Here is Mr. Poe, Edgar Allan Poe. If you're new to my channel, I'm really into Halloween as well, which you probably assumed, Trav's Haunted Yard. But yeah, that's where, how I named them, the cats, Raven and Edgar. This potentilla shrub gets yellow flowers all over it. I have 3 in here, but I'm not sure what happened to the other 2. They don't seem to be doing as good. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That sun is like... Hopefully this is coming out good, I can't really tell. But yeah, I'll be repeating the same border in this as well. In my round circle garden here, in the center I have Tithonia. This is the Mexican sunflower. Same thing I did last year. And then I have a ring of Russian sage. So this will be orange in the center, and then a ring of blue around it, which is kind of a theme we have going on in the front. Orange, blue, burgundy. Marigolds are in here too. Yes, this needs to be mulched, I know. Aster, purple aster, will bloom late summer. Blanket flower. And I'm deadheading, like these. I'm deadheading these to promote new blooms. You can do the same thing with your annuals as well, especially your marigolds. If you deadhead them, you'll keep getting new blooms. I'm sure a lot of you already know that. So yeah, a blanket flower. More sedum. And this is a coreopsis. Yellow. It'll be blooming soon. So very rustic, country, cottage garden. It's kind of our style. A little more formal here in the front with the repetition. But in the back, of course, is all cottage gardens. This is a red crepe myrtle. It'll be really pretty later this summer. Sedum Autumn Joy. This sedum, by the way, will get a like a rusty pink flower on it. Clematis. Some lantana, the yellow. More of the rose moss there in the pig planter, with more of the sedum. Russian sage, setting its flower. Again, this will be blue. Blue or purple? If you guys remember, I started burgundy sunflowers. Only 2 come up, of course. But I'm really excited for those. There's a, what do you call that color? Fuchsia? Fuchsia lantana. More sedum. Black-eyed Susan in there. And this beauty. I forget the variety of that one. David Austin Rose. Some primrose in there. This was a beautiful clematis earlier this spring. This is probably one of my better containers. Not really worked that hard on containers this year. But it's blue Victoria Salvia in the center. Some white alyssum. And a red like dianthus type flower. An annual. So red, white, and blue is the theme. Alright, and the potager garden. This was a new project for this year. So I guess we'll start with the herbs. This is sage, of course, and was full of purple flowers earlier this season. I really like it. I like the foliage color, and then of course the beautiful flowers it has. I don't mind if it seeds itself everywhere because it's worth it. If you look back at a previous video this season, you'll see it in bloom. Don't really use it for cooking. Really like the flower. Dill started from seed. And I think this gets a yellow flower on it. We've got rosemary. The mullein is still doing good. You guys, I think Edgar has caught a mouse. I can hear it. He was chasing after that one yesterday. And it got under a rock. Cilantro. Again, I don't use it for cooking. But isn't that pretty, the flower? Okay, I gotta keep moving. I'm running out of time here. Basil. Whoa. purple basil that come up from seed. I think there's some thyme in here that I started from seed as well. I did have chives in the containers, or the planters here, kind of taken over by weeds. But chives are in the containers. Green beans. These are the pole variety. Starting on the trellis here. So we have green beans on both sides. Got a sweet pea here on this one, and a watermelon. Also, we have more green beans here. These are the bush beans, which are, you know, like a bush. Get in here, guys. So green beans, tomatoes, three tomatoes here. I think these are Celebrity. I've got more in the other vegetable garden in the back. But I promised I would do a update on this. Cucumbers in the center. Still haven't got my real trellis, but hopefully these sticks will do okay. And I'm already getting little cucumbers on them. Here's one. There's another. Going out of focus again. Sorry. Over here, I've got a variety of pumpkins. They look really healthy. I have the hardest time with pumpkins. I may get 3 or 4 small ones, but out of probably 20 vines. This is another variety. It would help if I marked things, so I would remember what they were. Alright guys, if you remember back in March, I believe, on my seed haul video, this is a native plant called Lacey Facilia, I believe is how you pronounce it. But I started this from seed, and it is blooming. Really pretty pollinator plant. So the pollinators love it. Lacey Facilia. I also have a shrub that kind of has the same blooms. But anyway, I'll show you that later in the season. Zinnia's in here. So we gotta have our flowers for our bees that attract the pollinators, and then they help make the fruit on the vegetables. So in the spring, I had a border of tulips, and now, slowly but surely, our zinnias. I was late planting these. So I have zinnias for the border. This is actually one from last year that reseeded. More zinnias up through here, along with the primrose. think someone's ready to go in. So guys, I'm going to stop this video here and feed the cats. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I will see you in part 4 of my June garden tour. Everybody take care.